Trooper Proctor, after you knew that Canton Police Department was conflicted off the case, you continued to have a very close relationship with yet another Albert, Kevin Albert, correct?
We worked on a cold case together.
So you did have a close personal and professional relationship with Kevin Albert, didn't you?
I'd say it was a professional relationship.
So when you told the jury a few minutes ago that you were aware of and knew of but didn't have relationships with 3 Alberts, Julie, Chris, and Colin, not quite true, is it?
Objection.
Sustained.
There's a 4th Albert out there, isn't there? Kevin. Right?
Yes.
But you didn't tell us about that one,
Objection.
I'll allow it.
correct?
I don't consider that a relationship. It's,
Well, let's look at that. 5 months into this investigation, in July of 2022, you were actually continuing to socialize with Kevin Albert, weren't you?
yes.
On July 19th, 2022, you and Kevin Albert went out drinking together, didn't you? Trooper Proctor, I'm not asking to look for anything in the binder at this point. I'm asking for your memory.
I don't recall that.
Does that refresh your recollection that on July 19th, 2022, you and Kevin Albert have been out drinking together?
It does.
In fact, the two of you got so drunk that Kevin Albert left his badge in your cruiser and couldn't find his gun the next morning, right?
Objection.
Overruled.
I can't speak to any level of intoxication, but I don't recall either of us being intoxicated.
Got it. So isn't it true that on 7/20, July 20th, 2022, the day after, at 8:39 in the morning, you texted Kevin Albert, quote, "Found your badge in my cruiser this morning," end quote, correct?
Yes.
Then you texted him, "I can leave it in my locker at the gym, drop it off at your station, or leave it in my mailbox," correct?
Correct.
Kevin Albert responds, "My mailbox. Did I take my gun?" And then included a wince face emoji, correct?
Correct.
So the fact of the matter is, you two got so drunk that he couldn't find his badge and had to ask you the next morning where his gun was, right?
Again, I can't speak to any level of intoxication. Whether he just forgot it, I don't know.
I'm not asking you about his BAC, Trooper Proctor. I'm asking, have you seen drunk people before?
Yes.
You've been drunk before.
Yes, I have, sir.
We've all been drunk before, right?
Yes.
Was he drunk? Were you drunk that night?
I don't recall. It was a long time ago.
But he left his badge in your cruiser after a night of drinking. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Which means you were drinking and driving in your cruiser. Right?
From what I remember, we were down the Cape working on the cold case together and stopped for dinner, had a few beers, and then dropped him off.
The next morning, Kevin Albert also texted you at page 2606. Starting with "It's bad." Tell me when you see that.
Okay, say it.
Now I may publish.
Yes.
2606, please. Kevin Albert responded, "It's bad!" Exclamation point, exclamation point. "I was hungover for sure today!" Exclamation point, exclamation point. "Couple tonight to make me feel good." End quote. Correct?
Correct.
You can take that down. Does that refresh your recollection that the two of you had been out drinking the night before? He got so drunk that he couldn't find his badge and he couldn't even find his gun.
Yes, it does refresh my memory.
Right. And you're in your cruiser. Right?
Yes, sir.
And this is with Brian Albert's brother, Cooper Proctor.
Correct.